No, most guys cannot afford, and I'm ballparking, $1,000 genuine Browning high power. And if you are one of the guys that does lust out after such an item, which this is right here, this is a 1977 Belgium produced FN high power, then I put you on the list of people having excellent taste and correct priorities. Correct priorities. I mean, good for you, but most guys can't do it. So I'm going to give you two options. You've seen the title. You know what the guns are. No big surprise. I did break this gun out into its own review because in a moment of respect, shall we, the Browning high power deserves its own video. I'm not going to do a 3-for-1 and just have Browning be one of the guys. It's too special. It's too important. It's too big of a milestone. The BHP P35, HP 35, Pistole 640B. It's amazing. Yeah, go watch that review though. I cover some of the history. I don't go into the weeds too much. The gun was made from 1935 to 2018. It's still in service with several militaries. But you can't afford $1,000 or more. You can spend like, I haven't gone into Gunbroker in a while, but I think when I did, I saw $1,800 high powers all day long. And that's not even a World War II high power. That's just like super clean, you know, collectible this way or that way. I don't know. Yeah. So this one I purchased years and years ago. I've been saving it for the right time, and the time has come. It did get this light scratch on it from the previous owner. I think dude who had it before me passed away, and I think this came available through an estate sale. So, and more genuine high powers will come available that way, I think, as these older fellas pass on, the greatest generation and the next two greatest generation pass on. You're going to see more of these come available. That doesn't mean they're going to be cheap, though. I think the word has been out for quite some time that these guns are amazing. They are wonderful collection pieces. We'll go into POU here in a minute. Yeah, I put that on there because it makes me happy and I can shoot it better with it. Go watch the review. I talk about it, and it can be removed. But it's my gun. I can do whatever the hell I want with it. Getting back to the fact that I don't give a shit. I would not permanently mar this gun, but that's nothing. Okay, you can't afford a Browning high power. On we go with the two alternatives. We're going into philosophy of use a little bit. Again, I need to get to features, how they shot, and which one would I buy between the two. So this doesn't go like an hour and 10 minutes. Okay, the first one has been hiding under that desert dirt encrusted TNP hat. So sorry, we're sold out of that one. For us to make more hats, I got to get way more views on the videos. And I need to get way more subscribers. Because we have to do a huge order. It would be like $20,000 for merch, and we have to recoup those expenses and make a profit. That's why you haven't seen more merch coming out. So if things change, I'm getting 1 million per video, you're gonna see merch. Guaranteed. Anyways, this is collectible. Congrats to those who got it. And yeah, that's an actual hat I've worn, and it's filthy. I'm gonna roll it on tabletop more often. Enough of that. Here comes the first alternative to a genuine Browning high power philosophy of use. It's a Springfield Armory SA35, y'all. Right here. Yep, good looking gun. I think Springfield Armory did a great job with it. We're gonna look at the details on it. I'm not gonna spend too much time with it, but I'll go through it. And then, sorry, Mr. Genuine Browning high power with my wonderful adjustable rear sight, which I love. It's not an artillery gun. I mean, those are the sickest ones ever, aren't they? Like a World War II Canadian production artillery gun with a shoulder stock. Yeah, you'd have to register it, but those were made in 44. Those are sick. Slotted grip. I think the Brits had one too, the Mark, number 2 Mark 1s. And it's not that cool, but it is cool. Look at that bluing. Oh my gosh. Sorry, you got to go to the side here. And this is, of course, the awesome Osborne Axis, because it deserves a place of honor on the table. A link below. I don't think they're making that green one. Actually, they might be. The red one for sure they're not. No, the next one is going to be the Girsan made in Turkey MCP35. 2 options for a Browning high power. And I bet a lot of you guys watching this video probably own one of these guns already. I have been praising the Browning high power P35, if you will, the entire time of the Nut and Fancy project. Years ago, I made it, and I'm talking like 14 years ago, I made a video called, it was one of my first tactical system philosophy videos, called The Advent of the Reliable Combat Pistol. And the Browning high power was on the short list. And I said it was, and still, it was then and still is a viable combat pistol option, and I will stick to that. Dude. But I've been singing its praises for a long time, and it's interesting to see that there has arisen a demand in the gun world for these two guns. I mean, they wouldn't go out and make these two guns unless there's a demand pent up for a Browning high power. And we've seen that trend continue. And that's good. I don't know if it's going to last, but I welcome it. I think it's totally cool. Philosophy of use then, first and foremost, would be the Browning high power you couldn't afford. That's right. How about a go-to-war pistol option? How about no? Not for me. It wouldn't be in the top 10. It's too heavy. Single action only. This isn't a BDM. No. Not for me. I did say, yes, you're right. I did say that it's a viable combat pistol. It is. It will still get the job done. It's still serving in militaries as far as I know, last time I checked. Security services for sure. A lot of waist belts of civilians for sure. It'll get the job done, but it's just too heavy. So my arc with the Browning high power went like this, super quick. And maybe you're the same way. So when I was really young, like a kid, and became aware of the Browning high power, I immediately wanted one, but not for second cool. I wanted one because it was a combat pistol that I lusted after. I knew that the Allies had used it. I learned that the Nazis had used it. And I was like, well, if they're both using it, it must be pretty damn good. And yeah, it was. That's why I wanted it. But then I became more aware and cognizant of SAWC requirements. And I went to polymers for my guns, like the Glocks, which I love. Those are my GTW options. And, you know, I kind of put it on the back burner. But then when you acquire more of those guns, you kind of long for the walnut and steel option. And so probably like you, on the rebound, I came back. And this is probably around the time I started the Nut and Fancy project, because when I started filming those, I was like already on the bandwagon of the second cool of such guns. And from year one, I was like, yeah, these things are awesome. We need to produce them again. So it's interesting. That was my arc, my trajectory on the high power. So for me, these guns, like this is a SA-35 by SA, Springfield Armory, they're fulfilling a second cool collectability need. And it would be akin to owning an M1 carbine or a K98, M1 Garand, and maybe a 1911 A1 government model. That's what owning this gun is like. And you may see this in the Soldier Boy drills because this is a World War II gun. And I have a segment called World War II Visitors where the candidate, the TNPr we've tagged to run the Soldier Boy drill, he doesn't know what he's shooting, but it's going to be some World War II gun of some type. And so I'll break out a cast member, I hand it to him, and we'll see how he does. This would be a good alternative for that. I don't know if I'm going to hand him this, especially in a damn snowstorm. Not going to happen. And see, that brings us to another philosophy of use, which is quite interesting. A lot of guys are buying the SA-35, the MC P35, this one on the background, because they don't want to shoot their Browning. Because they realize that it's collectible, and they're like, I'm not shooting my Browning. I do advocate you do shoot your Browning high power. You only live once. This life is short. We all can die at any time. So enjoy it. Take care of it. I mean, don't abuse it, but shoot it. But a lot of guys are like, nah, I'm not shooting it. Maybe they have a World War II inherited Browning. That's pretty amazing. That gun, I don't know if I'd go out and be shooting. Maybe it's time to get an SA-35. That's the second philosophy of use. It's going to be a stand-in Browning, something you can put rounds through and not feel guilty. Home defense, yeah, for sure it could, but not my first choice. Vehicle defense, not really. Competition, no. We have a lot more options for that. I think we all know what it is. It's a second cool piece that we want to shoot. Now, if you differ from that short discussion on POU, say so in the discussion below. the video, and you may see guys go, no, I do carry a Browning high power. I do carry the Springfield Armory SA35. And you might be like my son, Tactical Doodle, because he does carry, but he's been known to carry some very interesting pieces, like a Walther PPK. And he does that when he has a, Glock 48, Glock 43, Glock 26 available, Airx Delta M available, and he just opts for something different. So there's guys like that. Cool. On we go to features. So the Springfield Armory, I think, is mostly made in the United States. I have heard rumors that it's made by Tishash in Turkey and assembled in the U.S. Don't get excited if that's the case, because Tisas, I call it Tishash, but Tisas makes some great guns, and I have reviewed their product positively several times already. And it would make sense that SA would do this to keep the cost lower. That being said, this gun right here has a forged frame, slide, and cold hammer forged barrel. That's pretty darn good. Now, we're in a world of CNC now. We're in a world of economic realities. We're not back in 1952. So, however they're getting it done, I welcome it, because it did reach the market, and I don't think this gun is overpriced. Thanks to Gunny's, the Great American Gun Store, from whom I have these checked out right now. Dude, look at his price on this. Look at this price. So this is the actual box this thing came in, Springfield Armory. I label it because I got to keep track of all my loan guns that I have checked out from Stud Wyatt. There's your carry case in there. It's got an unnecessary trigger lock somewhere in there probably. And then, dude, check this out. The price on this is what I'm talking about. $6.99? What? $6.99? That is pretty darn good. Well done. That's one reason I associate with Gunny's, because all their pricing is well in line with other competitors. Please support Gunny's. You can go buy some shit kickers and a belt buckle while you're there. I call them the Great American Western Wear Storing. Yes, Wyatt still hates it when I say that. But dude, you have a good selection of cowboy boots. You have some rodeo buckles in there too. Holy crap. Now across the way, you have a couple AR-15s and some PA-35s. SA-35s. Yeah, so that's a good price. Don't really care if it's made in Turkey or not. Okay, we're on to features. One thing I like about this gun is that it has a war appearance to it. So it's matte finished, and it has, let me just get to this right now, perfect walnut grips. The checker on these things is amazing. These are some of the best wood grips I've seen in a long time on a Springfield Armory SA-35. The walnut is fantastic. Now, there are World War II Browning high powers, or whatever you want to call it, the BHP P35, HP 35, Pistola 640B, that have similar grip panels, but these are the best I've ever seen on the gun. Fantastic. And then coupled with the matte finish, it just looks like a wartime high power. Now, inevitably, guys may ask, would you be more attracted to it if it had a high polished blue like your Belgium produced Browning high power? The answer is yes. I personally would, because I love high polish, and we've already established this is a second cool purchase for me if I wasn't a reviewer. Yeah, I would like that more, but will I pay another $200 for that bluing job? Would you? I like how it looks. It's purposeful. It looks like a Canadian World War II P35 in a way. I like it. So enough of that. The rest of the overall appearance is all Browning high power. It has the overall slender form factor. That's one reason we like the Browning high power, and a competitor hanging off on the wood there, what I'll show you before the video ends. It's just slender. It's thin. It's easy to carry, albeit not lightweight. 32 ounces. Both of these pistols are going to be just like the original. All steel. There's no alloy in this, but it's just trim. Has this nice cutout here. We just love that about the high power. It's just a good looking gun. And by the way, a very good name. I said that in the high power review. I love the name. They named it because it was 13 rounds, and that was unheard of in 1935. And DS at FN Herstal is the dude that named it, the high power. Great job with that. Back to features. The serrations there for retracting the slide are fantastic. They're just like the original. We're going to see some variances here as we go into a modern production copy of a high power. So this slide stop lever is a little bit different. You can see the machining difference, and that's nice having the original Browning on the table. It's pretty close. A few differences there. The safety is highly different. I love, sorry lefties, I love how they just went with a right-handed safety on the Springfield Armory SA35. I just love that. But it's not this. This is a traditional Browning safety that was always known to be very hard to engage because you're compressing a spring, not in this one. This is a modern production one with a firing pin disconnect. No, it's a shelf safety lever. Again, condition 1, cocked and locked. Let's check the positivity of that. Pretty darn good. I like it. Same magazine release. Same smooth front strap that most Browning high powers feature. Now you'll notice the milling right here on the two guns. Pretty similar. I'm showing you my... Browning high power. There was one difference I wanted to show you. So look at this one, the modern one, and this is kind of a quibble, but it's not radiused and smooth as the Belgium high power. See how that's rounded and smooth? The essential angles are the same, but this is just a sharper transition. No, I did not notice it in shooting. The grip is still super ergonomic on both of these guns. Smallish trigger guard. The trigger on this is supposed to be pretty darn good. I don't think it's fantastic. On the SA35, I pull it at 6.5. And it feels lighter when we were shooting it. So Sean the TNPr shot it too, crew member, and he's like, that's a pretty good trigger. And I was like, well, it's 6.5. And he's like, really? Rounded in form factor. We'll talk about the Girsan MCP35. It has kind of a different model that is going to be pretty intriguing for dudes. Again, the stocks are fantastic. You're going to have to Loctite all the stocks. Both of these guns came loose while shooting. And that's pretty common with, you know, I call them stocks. I'm sorry, grip panels is what I should be saying. Yeah, just Loctite them. I did it with both these after. Very CZ75-like, the whole grip is. That's probably where CZ got it from. Look at this side right here. We have an external extractor on this one. War production high powers usually had an internal extractor. My Belgium has the external extractor as well. Again, we have a chrome plated cold hammer forged barrel there. Nice. We don't have any serrations, just a smooth top. The sights on this are excellent on the SA35. You have a U dot with a bright white dot. It is not tritium, and I think that's appropriate. I like how that's serrated. I could probably be happier with a square notch, but it is vogue now to do a U-notch, and guys like it. Sean loved it. I was like, do you like that U-notch? He's like, oh yeah, I love it. So I'm old school. I like the square notch. I'm okay with that. Ring hammer. So it doesn't have a spur hammer like my Belgium one does. I do prefer those better. The ring hammer is known to give you hammer bite less since we have a short beaver tail on the SA35. That's good. Not sure if this part is mimmed or forged. I think everything on the SA35 is forged. I thought I read that somewhere. A little bit of funneling going on here. That's a modern addition. You don't have that in my high power, and I'll take it. It's just minor. But does it help? I like it. I mean, I've always said that the high power is easy enough to reload, but a little funneling, it's okay. It's okay. The rest is all high power, dude. Magazine release, right where it should be. And on we go to the MCP 35. Now this one right here, let me say, reminds me of a Mark 1 Browning, which I like. I like the Mark 1 better. It's Mark 2, Mark 3 came out. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my Browning high power review. I do discuss that a little bit. I don't want to go into it here. I like the Mark 1. I like the closer it can be to a World War II. Let me put a caveat on that. I was going to say closer it can be to a World War II P35, the happier I am. The exception would be a gun like this. So this is a commercial version. I like these maybe a little bit better because I like the polished blue. And this is kind of what I lusted after as a kid. Okay, so that's just me. This one is very Mark III-ish to me. So it has a thumb shelf right here. Not a thumb shelf, like whatever that is, you know, a thumb rest right here. It has plastic grip panels, has an ambidextrous safety on it. It too has an external extractor. This has a magazine disconnect safety. And by the way, the SA35 does not. Yeah, so this one is more Mark III-ish to me, which, like I said, less attractive just because it's taking the tried and proven Browning high power look, and that's all I'm talking about, the look, and going back to the more modernized high power, which is fine, but I like wood and steel better. That's just me. I like wood and steel, either a wartime looking one or this one as well. But that's not to say this is an ugly gun. It looks fine. I think the finishing on it is fantastic. I've seen an FDE version on it. I did go to their website tonight, Girsan's website. I don't see that one anymore. It has high quality production as well. The frame and slide are made out of 4140 steel, and there's probably some MIM'd parts in there if you care to keep the cost low, and the cost is low. It's less than the SA35 for sure, like a lot less. But again, we have the ambidextrous safety. I think that is less elegant. They have the ring hammer on it. We have a short beaver tail on it, smooth front strap, sharper transitions departing greatly from the milling of the original high powers. I'll let you look at that briefly in this area right here. Few differences. Same trigger guard. The trigger on this is worse than the P35, says me. I didn't measure it, but it feels very crunchy with a lot of rub, greatly needing a trigger job. Right through here, it feels awful. I ain't gonna lie, it feels awful. And then it pulls, I think I measured it like 8 pounds. Not a great trigger. I did not like the trigger. I was able to shoot it well. I'm gonna show you paper, but didn't exactly excite me. This sighting arrangement is also totally practical and good, although it also departs from the original P35. We got white bars. I do like this in that you don't have to put any, I don't know, paint on your front sight, like so. And this helps us in shooting steel. That's one reason I do it. There you go. Drift adjustable, just like the SA35, but just with a drift punch or a sight tool that you can drift it. This looks just like a Browning high power. Let's take a look at the magazine. Again, by Metgar. Great magazines. And by the way, that's what I'm running in my high powers as well. I got some stainless steel Metgar magazines, and they're 15+1. Those are features, down and dirty. This takedown lever, very similar. How did they shoot? I will say both of the guns, SA35 and the MCP 35, this one, shot very well.
Yes, look at that. High left each time.
Okay. Here, you shoot it. I've already shot this thing.
All right.
You'll do better than me anyhow.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Girsan. Girsan MCP 35.
This one almost feels like it's got a little more bite to it.
Notice the trigger between the other two you shot.
Yeah, this one feels lighter. I'm noticing it.
It feels crunchier to me.
Crunchier?
Yeah, I don't like it.
I'll try and pay a little more.
I can deal with it, but it's inferior.
Oh, yeah. No, it's got a lot of take up with the crunch to it. The brake's not bad.
Yeah. At least it's not jamming.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Nice. Not bad. Yeah, it definitely has a really crunchy take up. You're right about that. But the brake isn't too bad. And
this is a Girsan MCP35.
oh, it's got a mag disconnect in it.
Yeah, easily taken out.
That's good.
It's not hard to take out.
That's good. Anything that keeps me from making the bullet go boom, I don't
Hate
want
it.
I don't want it.
Hate it.
Yeah, this one a little bit lighter. I like the grip on this. Yeah, there you go. I like the grip. It's got a nice feel to it.
You like the little shelf there?
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I actually love these. These
Yeah.
are awesome.
You like the flat?
Oh, cut walnut? How does it get any better?
This one's beautiful. I will say that.
It looks like a World War II P35.
Yeah, I think it's just the girth. Like if you look at you can see the thickness.
Mm-hmm.
I like having a little bit more of a girthy grip, but let's see, texturing. Oh yeah. No, texturing for sure. I like this a lot better. The look is beautiful. Mm-hmm. That is gorgeous. Well done.
How about the ring hammer versus a spur hammer on the Browning?
I like the ring hammer.
Yeah.
I do. I like it.
Okay.
And this one, I think this one was actually biting me a little bit.
Really?
Which
it looks like it's a bigger hammer.
Yeah, and I don't see any difference in the tail, so I don't think it's a matter of getting up over the top of the tail.
Mm-hmm.
It's
but
more,
one of them was biting. You are kind of red right here.
Yeah, I got just a little bit. I think it was this one. And as I look at the hammer too, this one doesn't quite come all the way down as far as this one does. Mm-hmm. This one's got just a little bit more distance that it comes out.
Both are short beaver tails, right?
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, fun. Both of them. Very nice.
You have to choose between the two, make a decision. This one's going to be more expensive by probably a couple hundred.
A couple $100 more?
Yeah.
I'd probably still take it. I'd go with this one.
That's what I would do too.
Yeah,
I like that one.
Would.
Look, we got a Vulcan scratch in it.
Yeah.
During testing, that's sad. I like the finish. The matte finish is cool. I really love high polished blue. But this looks like a wartime Browning high power. This looks like a well finished Browning high power in World War II. This thing looks like an aftermarket P35, and it's completely functional. I think a lot of guys would love this, and for the money, it's recommended. They're both recommended, really.
Yep.
I like the looks of the other one.
I like the sights on this one a little bit better
Yeah.
too. I like that. That V-notch in there is a little bit cleaner and easier, and then the contrast with the front dot. This one, did you put those marks on there?
Nope.
Yeah. See that
Came
one
like that.
Yeah, the sighting on this one just didn't.
Kind of a
quite
modern
tickle me.
arrangement that's not connecting with you.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go. Browning high power clones in the very cold, snowy desert. Thank you, Sean.
Very cool. It's fun.
There may have been like a little bobble here or there, but I have a hard time remembering either one having any problems. And think about how remarkable that is. That is remarkable to say that you took a design, recreated it, and you have no reliability problems with it. That is a round of applause from the Nut and Fancy Project. Both of these guns do it right. And I shot hollow points, I shot flat nose bullets, and I shot a lot of FMJ out of both of those guns. You've been watching video as we've been doing it. Here's the accuracy. First up, the Girsan MCP35. This is 8 yards standing.
Hollow points.
I only had one shot, and that's right where I aimed though, so I gave it an up arrow. That's a great group. 8 yards standing, that's a great group. I said trigger is squiggly. I told you I don't like the trigger. Sights are good, it's accurate. Oh yeah, last shot, hold open, no worky. And I don't think that was me riding the slide release. I don't think. I do that on 1911s occasionally, but I don't think I was doing that. It just didn't work. You'll see me like, you know, jerking or flinching as that happens, but I'm still shooting pretty damn accurate, as you can see. So it doesn't matter. Again, getting back to the fact that I don't give a shit. Great group on that one. Great group, good group, not so great group. Yeah, so I would classify the Girsan product as very accurate, excellent accuracy. Here comes this gun, the Springfield Armory SA-35. Now, you're going to see two groupings on this. One was in high winds. I was having a very difficult time controlling just because I had a 15-mile-an-hour wind. And then the second day are the circles. That's a good group, outstanding group, outstanding group. And these are with hollow points, I believe. Great group, great group. I don't know why I gave my squiggly mark there. It's still a good group. Great. Look at that, dudes. One ragged hole. So I'd classify the accuracy of the SA-35 as friggin' outstanding. With a better trigger, which one would I buy? This one. I'd pay the extra money and get those walnut stocks, the matte finish, the non-ambi safety, the accuracy, the cachet of just how it looks. This, to me, I like this one. I don't want you to think that I'm negative reviewing the MCP-35 by Girsan at all. And it's imported by EA, as you can tell. I think it's a good gun, a really good gun, maybe a great gun for the price, and it is recommended. But you're asking me, and I made the point, I like traditional. I mean, I'm talking about a traditional single action only pistol. I don't really want to go modern. I have other guns that do that. I want traditional. I want it to look like a wartime or a 1960s, 70s, or 80s high power to attract me. Competitive options. Well, sitting off here in the background is my Red Star CZ75. CZs are fantastic. I'm a big fan of CZs. I've always been, but they're kind of the same thing. They're a cocked and locked gun. They have basically the same grip. It flares out a little bit more. It's a little bit, I don't know, pronounced back here in the rear. CZ75 grip, very famous. I think it has a much better trigger guard than high power. It's enlarged. It's flattened on the face. For me, shooting stupidly, again, getting to the fact that I don't give a shit, I curl my finger around the trigger guard and shoot very well that way. It's harder for me to do that with this gun. This was that limited edition Red Star that guys now apparently love. When it first came out, they were hating it, but now everyone wants to buy it from me. I'm like, no, not selling it. This carries more rounds. This is a great gun. Any CZ75 single action would be a good alternative. I would also say the Model 59 Smith & Wesson, although it doesn't have the cachet of this gun, doesn't have the wartime experience, has a lot of police holster experience, that Model 59. Be fantastic. The Model 92 Beretta, awesome, awesome gun. Doesn't go as far back as this gun. I mean, the Browning high power, dudes, was made from 1935 to 2018. That's a pretty good run. Now, FN has reintroduced the Browning high power, but it's not like this one. It's goofy. From what I've seen, it's goofy. They've made a lot of mistakes with it. They made it kind of Mark III-ish with some weird changes on it. Ugh. Yeah, make it look like a Canadian Inglis and guys will dig it. So both these guns are fantastic for the price. They are highly recommended. They are not, for me personally, GTW. They are more cast members and just fun guns. Fun guns. Comment below if you have one. How does it shoot? I'm expecting to hear echoing of my experience. They're both going to be reliable, accurate, and guys will not regret having purchased them. Here's my prediction, by the way. You're not going to see too many of these in used gun counters, especially for the low prices. Guys are just going to hang on to them. And they'll be kind of mini heirloom pieces for dudes. That's what I think is going to happen. Nut and Fancy Project, thanks so much. Make sure you're a donor. Join below. Send me naked girls, cash, or ammunition. You can use the PayPal link below if you want for sending cash. Much appreciated. This, by the way, is a dive proven by me personally. Duca dive watch. Once again, it's beautiful. They come in some great colors. NH35 power. So fantastic. On my wrist tonight is a friggin' Laco Squad, y'all. Awesome watch. Look at that. Bezel action, 5 out of 5. This is a 100% Swiss dive watch, by the way. Swiss dive watch. Man, this show is fun. Thanks again for your support, dudes. Thanks for listening to my dumb intro. I'm done.